an exclusive interview with Sir Nigel. In biblical times, men of God such as Amos, Hosea, Jeremiah, John the Baptist, and many others lived to champion the causes of the oppressed. They spoke against corruption, injustice, poverty perpetuated by the government of the day. Amos chapter 4 verse 1 says, "Hear this word, you cows of Bashan, who are on the mountain of Samaria, who oppress the poor, who crush the needy, who say to your husbands, bring that we may drink." Could Pastor Ivan Mawarire of his generation church be likened or compared to these biblical prophets? He is the first Zimbabwean pastor to publicly stand up against corruption, injustice, and poverty in Zimbabwe. He began a flag protest with the hashtag #ThisFlag, which was inspired after looking at the Zimbabwean flag in his office, thinking of where he was going to get money to pay fees for his child. This is his story.
So what happened was this. Soon after, I think it was 2 days after independence, I can't remember the exact day, I'm sitting here at my desk and suddenly realized that I had failed to organize some much needed finances for my kids' school fees.
Yes.
So as I sat there, my flag is always sat there. So I'm sitting there, I'm about to go and I'm thinking, how am I going to make this work? I looked at the flag and so my face was glancing across the office. And I want a flag ground. And straight away my mind, I thought it was out if I was in another country, then some problems were. But that thought arrested me. It seems to me, Kuti, being a Zimbabwean and being in Zimbabwe is the very reason I can't be what I need to be. This country is standing in the way of my dreams. But that became a paradox. Kuti, wait a minute. How does my country stand in the way of my dreams? My country is supposed to stand behind me and push my dreams. If there's a place I'm supposed to succeed, you know. So that's how that began. I then looked at the flag and I was thinking to myself, when I look at the flag, what this flag stands for and where the country is right now are worlds apart. Zakasiana so much. I thought to myself, my way. So we have a symbol of a bright future, and yet there is no bright future with something that I hold sacred. When I traveled out of the country or when foreigners come here, do you know what that is a flag? This is who I am. I'm proud. You know, I traveled some time ago to America and their houses, they have their flag. And so for me, this is part of the goal. To get every Zimbabwean to be so proud of this flag that when they see a person violating what it stands for, politician or not, elected or not, ruling party or opposition party, if you violate this thing, citizens. Look, it's also we are saying, Kuti, you don't sideline the citizens, whether you are the opposition parties or what, and we're standing as citizens. Because one of the things for me that I'm running with is, including my opposition parties, my Nyowa Nemadara and the ruling party, Taneta name. Because year in and year out, you guys have a different fight you're picking amongst yourself. Sports sanctions. Then you are trying to own the country Murimega. Then and as the citizens, and you know what our problem as citizens is? We have over the years looked for someone or some party or something that has got a voice, and we've said, and I'm saying, I think it's time for some new ideas. It's time for us to say, as citizens, can we engage our government? As citizens, we're not coming as a lobby group or as NGO, vanhu vari kungota chat, and one of the ways is if people can unite around something that can send a message. Hapana munhu arohambama, hapana munhu athreatena umwe, no one has advocated for the overthrow of the government or whatever it is, but vanhu vangoita stand. They've just said inini bondkwena ndisikushandisa. Twitter say, okay, I've spoken out, take your flag for 7 days. I'm only asking you 7 days.
I've spoken to certain people. I talk to people all the time. What I've come to realize is a lot of people are waiting for, I want to use the word Messiah, to come and take us from here to the promised land.
Yeah.
And maybe what's happened is they've seen you and they're too scared to take a leadership role themselves, or to make a stand like you have, and they've seen what you've done and said, okay, I'm going to rally around this guy.
You're someone that somebody being registered out, because my kids are going to ask me years from now, so Daddy, what were you doing? My eating.
That's true.
And I want to be able to say, you need a packet of 1 month. And I'm going to across our country to come with our noise. But the point I wanted to make was that I took some time to say, okay, the Champ of Miracles, I want to post these things and get to and act and not just speak, but act. I'm glad people have joined in and they've come on board. And like I said, people are asking, so what do we do? So Twitter said. And much of my response has been, let's do what we are doing now. Encourage your friends to do what I have done, what you are doing. If you're saying you're doing what I'm doing, I've encouraged my friends to do what I'm doing. You encourage your friends to do what you're doing. And let's see if this thing can snowball and actually become a statement that is made. You know? So, I wonder that's the dynamics that are involved in it. People are saying, some people are even claiming, I am an implant. I mean, someone said, commented, there was Zanu. I told two months Zanu, kanganise muvano. I paite uninge palpitika something, But Zruto poor mari. I told him bo.
What are your school fees? You can only go school fees.
Look, I'm regular as well. I'm a pastor, but I don't enjoy any privileges whatsoever. I stand in the queue, you know, banks around the base. Ndoto tomorrow because I'm thinking about grocery shop. Ndoto mzero misi mara is kukwana choose as soon as true. Like I'm just at the back and you on the streets. Ndoto bro think a lunch from here right now. So it's for me. I think it's getting to a, and I'm trying to get to reach out to other pastors and say, guys, we have a responsibility.
I'm so glad you've spoken about other pastors. I've often spoken about the role that the church in Zimbabwe can play. And I've often thought that it hasn't been playing the role that I think it should. Every Sunday, every Saturday, every Friday, people are gathering. My poster, I know what no check some key. And poster on Friday.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I've got a friend of mine, Saturday is her day at church, Sunday is the rest, we go to church on Sunday. But there's a lot of people are gathered. I think there's an opportunity to talk about some of these things. To me, I don't think you've made a political statement, personally. I think you've just looked at it's facts. Like I said, ex-accountant, to make a profit, we make a loss, right? Made a profit, here's how we made a profit, we made a loss, how we made a loss. You pointed out some facts. The stuff that our kids are learning at school about the flag, what does red mean, what does green mean, what does white mean, what does and all you did was put that in a video and share it.
And
now someone can interpret that and say, it's political now. And even if it is, right? It's just, guys, this is what the flag means.
And I think part of it is this, Nigel. It's when people try to hide behind how does politics manage. Even if I was doing politics in terms of and if politics, they made a decision to go in there. Politics in itself is not bad. It's people that are bad that get into politics. The problem we have in our world, not just Zimbabwe, I'm a such a big believer it is possible to have a good politician. That statement in our minds is, it can't. It's a paradox. Good politician does not exist. If you say politician, it's a bad person. So the church, going back to your point, has a job to stand for very apparent things in the Bible: righteousness, justice, and peace, all right, mercy, compassion. So why can't a pastor speak from a standpoint of compassion and speak for vendors who sleep on the street? Vanhu vaakurara neproduce yavo mutown. Kune kuti kumba aida kusisina kumba kwacho kwenda hakuna chikafu takutorara nevana.
And a child. I left, and I know this because I left work late yesterday. I left work late a few weeks ago, and I'm going home for my night.
And she's still
there. And you're like, okay. And you want actually go for it.
Honestly, you know.
So that tells me that Maria Bas, Panik Pasi.
Such a outreach game, man. So, as a pastor, you are happy for someone to go and work like that and bring you tithe, chegumi, and yet you don't want to stand for that person. You tell me what's more evil. Chinduza, what's more evil? Because she's coming and she's having. The people were so evil. We're so evil. These people, they come into our church, they give offerings. But now, when it comes time for me, even the person who has a voice, to stand for her, to stand for him, and say, I'm sorry. Guys, the people running the country, when we need to change things, please. And as pastors, we don't do it. We don't do it. Instead, we are more concerned about our conferences. We're more concerned about, how many books have I sold? The things anointing oil and I want to say. We're more concerned about our face on posters and people coming to us than we are. And here's one of the biggest problems of the church. We seem to love the crowd but hate the individual.
That's very powerful.
Oh man, I will show up and I'll preach a powerful message. But are you one? I've been in the office, pastor in the one of our elders. And so, in conclusion, concerning churches and pastoring, one of the biggest problems I've discovered with pastors is two things. Why we don't speak out, why we don't do what we're supposed to do. The first one is skeletons in the closet.
My pastors are actually
so if you start to speak and have a voice, you're in trouble. That's number one. Number two, we are protecting ourselves and our empires, if I can use that word. So be it, so be it. So, and it's not, please, I hope this comes through. I'm not saying it's every pastor. I'm just saying we need to wake up and realize, Kuti, we have a job to do. The politician is not designed to operate with compassion. Okay? Because Muna arufunga objectively, Muna arufunga through policies and strategies to move a nation forward. So the nation then has people that are designed to think with their hearts. And that's us. And together we are then supposed to work together. Those that think with their hearts and those that think with their minds. And we come up with something that actually benefits everybody. Those that think with their hearts are refusing. They don't want to step up. To preach a message against corruption is a difficult thing for pastors, for many pastors to do.
Why is that?
Again, it's the fear that I may be victimized. It's the fear that I may be singled out.
But corruption is not happening. You see, I think sometimes we misunderstand what corruption is.
Mhm.
It's easy to point out Minister X and how he acquired a company or whatever, and how he acquired X number of houses or a huge percentage of a city or something like that. That's fairly easy because we're pointing at someone else. But it's just watch.
And I think this is where the church has the advantage in being able to stamp out things like corruption, injustice, and poverty. And for me, that's what I've been standing for when we started running with this flag. Corruption, injustice, and poverty. The church has got a beautiful opportunity to speak to the transformation of a person from the inside going out. And so we start to talk about the desires of the heart, and we start to talk to each other about how much is enough for you. If you're earning a certain amount of money, if you're buying houses, if you're buying cars, at what point do you say enough? Because the Bible then says, what shall it benefit a man if he gains the whole world and yet loses his soul? We're speaking to corruption when the word of God says that. Jesus, when you read through the Bible, his 3 years of ministry was dedicated to stamping out these particular things. When the soldiers would come to him and they gave their lives to the Lord, and they would say to him, what must we do to get eternal life? And he'd say to them, go, sell everything that you have and give to the poor. He'd say to tax collectors, when Nicodemus, he'd say, go and give everyone back. And be content with it. In fact, Jesus would say to the soldiers, be content with your wages. So for me, we are perfectly positioned as the church NEMA pastors to be able to teach people these particular principles of life and good, citizenship. These things build a nation, but we have since abdicated those things. We would rather talk about, if you give X amount of money, you're going to have this breakthrough. Tapita lottery in church, mugatora oil, muganozora pakati, muganisa pakati, zvinoita, So, what you end up doing, one just sit back and they just say, but we laugh, but my heart breaks for my country. This is why I do what I do. Again, let me be clear. I'm not inciting people to become violent and to overthrow their government. No. I'm inspiring people to become citizens. It's not inciting, it's inspiring. Become a citizen. Any good politician wants to hear from the citizen.
It's interesting.
Generation that has an institutional memory of a working Zimbabwe. After us, after this generation, people are now coming in to be citizens that actually don't know Nika Isnama potholes. They don't know a country that has got water that is clean, that you can drink from the tap. It's about tap in the 80s. I am part of the last generation that has an institutional memory of a country that actually works. Biochem degree, a master's in biochem, is selling airtime on the street. I know someone like that. Biochem, masters, I don't take this airtime, I'm going to take a big. That person is supposed to be developing a startup, a biochem startup. At the least, they're supposed to be in a lab somewhere in this country, but they're not. So part of the problem then is that the brain drain continues because the best minds leave. The best minds leave. It is erosion. The best minds go. I was laughing with someone at Zimbabwe is one of the only countries where getting a passport is reason to celebrate. People congratulate you for getting a passport in Zimbabwe.
I walked in
if you get a visa, party. Want to throw away visa to America, UK, Australia, Canada, let's have a party. What a visa. You know what I mean? And so for me, this is unfortunately some of the rewiring that our generation will have to now start to go through. Okay, I can go out because there is benefit to going out. But now when I go out, undergrad yangu ndita postgrad yangu kubva ipapo ndakudzoka kumba ndoda kutanga chakati ndaona chakati kwakati let me go and start it kwakati. But it's not happening right now.
Turning to, so today is day 5.
Yes, today is day 5. So I know that we have been hurt. So, after day 7, I think we as citizens, we solidify our position. Enough is enough. Tanita corruption, tanita injustice, tanita poverty. Finish. And the people, this can be changed. Situation at tonight can be changed. This is not an endemic situation. It can be stopped and it can be changed. I had a phone call just now from a young guy, I think he's in South Africa somewhere. She goes, we're watching what you're doing. Some data say I'm a youth pastor. People are asking me, data say, and so forth. What's your? And I said, yeah, young man, relax. And I don't know whether he's a young man or whether it's someone just trying to sound me out. And I said, we have done what is necessary. Everyone else needs to play their part. Play your part from wherever you are. Speak out. Take your flag, make a stand, we record a video, send it through, and just let them know it is tight, but we want you to know that we are now uniting as citizens and we are saying that we have had enough. So at the end of 7 days, if I have been able to awaken and arouse a discussion within 30,000 or 100,000 people, I think we've done pretty good for something that has begun on zero budget, and without the inspiration of anyone from civic society, government, political sphere, for something that just began like that. I think we've done a good job. I had people, and the things you have answered, people have got their different comments. Some people were commenting on the different news sites that picked up the story of this flag. So I know they got the video, I got a phone, I got a DZ, can I patch movies? Non tell me I am.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.